Columbus Day is a national holiday in many countries in the Americas and elsewhere, which officially celebrates the anniversary of Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas on October 12, 1492. The landing is celebrated as Columbus Day in the United States, as Dia de la Raza, Day of the Race, in many countries in Latin America, as Dia de la Hispanidad and Fiesta Nacional in Spain, where it is also the religious festivity of La Virgen del Pilar, as Dia de las Americas, Day of the Americas, in Belize and Uruguay, as Dia de Respeto a la Diversidad Cultural, Day of Respect for Cultural Diversity, in Argentina. Columbus Day first became an official state holiday in Colorado in autumn of 1905 and became a federal holiday in the United States in 1937. Though people have celebrated Columbus's voyage since the colonial period, in 1792, New York City and other U.S. cities celebrated the 300th anniversary of his landing in the New World. President Benjamin Harrison called upon the people of the United States to celebrate on the 400th anniversary of the event. During the anniversary in 1892, teachers, preachers, poets, and politicians used rituals to teach ideals of patriotism. These rituals took themes such as citizenship, boundaries, the importance of loyalty to the nation, and celebrating social progress. Many Italian Americans observe Columbus Day as a celebration of their heritage, the first occasion being in New York City on October 12, 1866. The day was first enshrined as a legal holiday in the United States through the lobbying of Angelo Nossi, a first-generation Italian in Denver. The first statewide holiday was proclaimed by Colorado Governor Jesse F. McDonald in 1905, and it was made a statutory holiday in 1907. In April 1934, as a result of lobbying by the Knights of Columbus and New York City Italian leader Gennaro Pope, Congress and President Franklin Delano Roosevelt proclaimed October 12th a federal holiday under the name Columbus Day. Since 1970, the holiday has been fixed to the second Monday in October, coincidentally exactly the same day as Thanksgiving in neighboring Canada, fixed since 1957. It is generally observed nowadays by banks, the bond market, the U.S. Postal Service, other federal agencies, most state government offices, many businesses, and most school districts. Some businesses and some stock exchanges remain open, and some states and municipalities abstain from observing the holiday. The traditional date of the holiday also adjoins in the anniversary of the United States Navy, which was founded on October 13th, 1775, and thus both occasions are customarily observed by the Navy, and usually the Marine Corps as well, with either a 72 or 96-hour liberty period. Observances of the holiday vary in different parts of the U.S., some ranging from large-scale parades and events, and in some places complete non-observance. Most states celebrate Columbus Day as an official state holiday, though many mark it as a day of observance or recognition, and at least 4 do not recognize it at all. Most states that celebrate Columbus Day will close state services, while others operate as normal. San Francisco claims the nation's oldest continuously existing celebration with the Italian-American community's annual Columbus Day Parade, which was established by a man named Nicola Larco in 1868, while New York City boasts the largest with over 35,000 marchers and 1 million viewers. As in the mainland U.S., Columbus Day is a legal holiday in the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. In the United States Virgin Islands, the day is celebrated as both Columbus Day and Puerto Rico Friendship Day. Virginia also celebrates 2 legal holidays on this same day, first being Columbus Day, and the second actually being Yorktown Victory Day, which is in commemoration of the Siege of Yorktown that happened during the American Revolutionary War. The U.S. states of Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, South Dakota, and Vermont do not recognize Columbus Day at all. Hawaii, South Dakota, and Vermont mark the day with alternative holidays or observances. Hawaii celebrates Discoverers Day, which commemorates the Polynesian discoverers of Hawaii on the same date, the second Monday of October, though the name change has not ended protests related to the observance of Columbus's discovery. The state government does not treat either Columbus Day or Discoverers Days as legal holidays. The state, the city, and the county government's offices and schools are indeed open for business on those days. In 2016, Vermont started celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day. Because this change was made by Vermont's governor via executive proclamation, it only applies for 2016. In the future, it would have to be issued by the sitting governor on a yearly basis, or officially changed by the legislature in order to become permanent. South Dakota celebrates the day as an official state holiday known as Native American Day. Oregon does not recognize Columbus Day as a holiday nor a commemoration. Schools and public offices remain open. Two additional states, Iowa and Nevada, do not celebrate it as an official holiday, but the state's representative governors are authorized and requested by statute to proclaim the day each year. Several other states have removed the day as a paid holiday for government workers while still maintaining it as a day of recognition or a legal holiday for other purposes. Berkeley, California replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day in 1992. Sebastopol and Santa Cruz, California have also done this. Dane County, Wisconsin, Seattle, Washington, Melissa, Montana, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Denver, Colorado, Phoenix, Arizona, Los Angeles, California, Austin, Texas, and Salt Lake City, Utah have also all done this, changing it to Indigenous Peoples Day. Various tribal governments in Oklahoma designate the day Native American Day, or name the day after their own tribe. As mentioned earlier, Columbus Day is not just celebrated in the United States. Similar celebrations are held in Argentina. The Day of the Race was established in Argentina in 1916 by a decree of the president during that time. A draft decree presented by INADI has been in existence since 2007 to modify the name of Day of Race for American Cultural Diversity Day. Finally, was consecrated as Day of Respect to Cultural Diversity to the decree of necessity and urgency. Colombia, the only country in the world with a name originated from Columbus himself, celebrates El Día de la Raza y de la Hispanidad and is taken as an opportunity to celebrate the encounter of the two worlds and to reflect on the richness that the racial diversity has brought to their culture. Venezuela. Between 1921 and 2002, Venezuela celebrated Dia de la Raza along with many other Latin American nations. The original holiday was established in 1921 under President Juan Vicente Gómez. In 2002, under President Hugo Chavez, the name was changed to Dia de la Resistencia Indigena, Day of Indigenous Resistance, to commemorate the indigenous people's resistance to European settlement. On October 12, 2004, a crowd of pro-government activists toppled the statue of Christopher Columbus in Caracas and sprayed elusive graffiti over its pedestal. The pro-Chavez website, Aporia, wrote, "Just like the statue of Saddam in Baghdad, that of Columbus the tyrant also fell this October 12, 2004, in Caracas. The famous toppling of Saddam Hussein's statue had occurred the previous year." On September 21st, 1994, Costa Rica changed the official holiday from Dia de la Raza to Dia del Encuentro de las Culturas, Day of the Encounter of Cultures, to recognize the mix of European, Native American, African, and Asian cultures that constitute the modern country of Costa Rica, the culture and the identity of its people. In accordance to the Costa Rican labor law, the holiday is observed on October 12th. However, should this date coincide with a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, or a Friday, the employer shall agree that said holiday be postponed to the following Monday. Some Caribbean countries also observe holidays related to Columbus Day. In Belize, October 12th is celebrated as Day of the Americas or Pan American Day. In the Bahamas, it was formerly known as Discovery Day until 2001, when it was replaced with National Heroes Day. Since the 18th century, many Italian communities in the Americas have observed the discovery of the New World as a celebration of their own heritage. Christopher Columbus himself was from Italy. In Italy, Columbus Day has been officially celebrated since 2004. The Lega Navale Italiana has created a Regata de Colombo as a celebration of the Columbus achievement. Since 1987, Spain has celebrated the anniversary of Columbus's arrival in the Americas as Fiesta Nación or National Day. Previously, Spain had celebrated the day as Dia de la Hispanidad, emphasizing Spain's ties with the Hispanidad, the international Hispanic community. In 1981, a royal decree established the Dia de la Hispanidad as a national holiday. However, in 1987, the name was changed to Fiesta Nación, and October 12th became one of two national celebrations, along with Constitution Day on December 6th. Spain's National Day had moved around several times during the various regime changes of the 20th century. Establishing it on the day of the International Columbus celebration was part of a compromise between conservatives who wanted to emphasize the statue of the monarchy and Spain's history, and Republicans who wanted to commemorate Spain's burgeoning democracy with an official holiday. Since 2000, October 12th has also been Spain's Day of the Armed Forces, celebrated each year with a military parade in Madrid. Other than this, however, the holiday is not widely or enthusiastically celebrated in Spain. There are no other large-scale patriotic parades, marches, or other events, and the observation is generally overshadowed by the feast day of Our Lady of the Pillar. Opposition to this holiday dates back to at least the 19th century, when activists had sought to eradicate celebrations because of its association with immigrants and the Knights of Columbus. Some non-Catholics were afraid it was being used to expand Catholic influence. By far the more common opposition today is decrying Columbus and his actions himself against indigenous peoples in the Americas. This, however, did not gain that much attention or was not a driving huge motivator against the holiday itself until more into the later half of the 20th century. This opposition was led by Native Americans and expanded upon by left-leaning parties. Though it became more mainstream, surveys conducted in 2013 and 2015 found that 26 to 38% of American adults not in favor of celebrating Columbus Day. There are some other points of criticism which are interrelated with one another. One criticism refers primarily to the treatment of the indigenous populations during the European colonization. Some groups, such as the American Indian movement, have argued that the ongoing actions and injustices against the Native Americans are masked by positive Columbus myths and celebrations. These groups argue that the legacy of Columbus has been used to legitimize these actions. F. David Peet asserts that many cultural myths of North America exclude or diminish the cultural and myths of Native Americans. These cultural myths include ideas expressed by Michael Berliner of the Ayn Rand Institute, claiming that Western civilization brought reason, science, self-reliance, individualism, ambition, and productive achievement to a people who were based in primitivism, mysticism, and eclecticism, and to a land that was sparsely inhabited, unused, and underdeveloped. Anthropologist Jack Weatherford says that on Columbus Day, Americans celebrate the greatest waves of genocide of the American Indians known in history. American Indian Movement of Colorado leader and activist Ward Churchill takes this argument further, contending that the mythologizing and celebration of the European settlement of the Americas on Columbus Day makes it easier for people to avoid taking responsibility for their own actions or for the actions of their governments regarding indigenous populations. In the summer of 1990, 350 representatives from American Indian groups from all over the hemisphere met in Ecuador at the very first international gathering of indigenous peoples in the Americas to mobilize against the quintessential celebration of Columbus Day. That following summer, in Davis, California, more than 100 Native Americans gathered for a follow-up meeting to the Quinto Conference. They declared October 12, 1992, International Day of Solidarity with Indigenous People, the largest ecumenical body in the United States. The National Council of Churches called on Christians to refrain from celebrating the Columbus quintessential saying, what represented newness of freedom, hope, and opportunity for some was the occasion for oppression, degradation, and genocide for others. The latest places in the US to redefine how they would celebrate the holiday to the title of Indigenous Peoples Day as of autumn 2016 includes communities in Massachusetts, specifically Cambridge, Amherst, and Northampton, with a group naming itself the Indigenous Peoples Day of Massachusetts, currently attempting to do the same for the state's capital city of Boston. That wraps up this short documentary on the history of Columbus Day. I hope you enjoyed listening to this documentary. Please subscribe for more independent work from Twilight City Studios. Your subscriptions help to support the channel. Be sure to like the Facebook page. More productions are on the way.